Video I'm going to be showing you how to make these simple tree decorations. They are literally one granny square and just added the bottom on for the tree stump. You can obviously add beads to it if you prefer to make it that jazzled Christmas decoration. So I'm going to be using acrylic yarn for this one. It's a lot softer obviously for your granny squares. A 3.5mm hook. I'm going to need my needle and my scissors. So let's get on started. Okay, so for the granny square I'm going to be doing a magic circle. It doesn't matter how you do your granny squares. If you've got a preferred way of doing it, that's fine as long as it's a square. And in here I'm going to do 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and then chain 1, and then 2 single crochets, chain 1, 2 single crochets, chain 1, and the last lot of 2 single crochets, 1, 2, chain 1. I'm going to pull it close and we're going to join them together. So I'm going to pick up that first, let's just make sure it's the first one. Yeah, that one there. I'm going to slip stitch into that one. Now I'm going to be doing my clusters going round, so I need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and we're going to do a double crochet. We're going to do 2 more straight into where that one's come out of. 1, back in the same hole, that's 2. Now I need to make a corner. I'm going to chain 2, and we're going to go straight back into the same hole you've been using, and we're going to do another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to skip 2 of these stitches, 1, 2. You can always count back if you make it, find it easier. So I've got 1, 2, or you can pull them apart and see where your 2s are. So I've got 2 here, so I'm going to go into this one. It'll be a lot easier after this round. And we're going to do the same thing again. You're going to do a cluster of 3, chain 2, and a cluster of 3. This is our third one. Chain 2 for your corner, and straight back in. And again, we're going to miss these 2. We're going to go into this next one. Do the same again, cluster of 3. And then a chain 2. And then another cluster of 3. Over into the next corner, we're going to go in between these 2 here. Cluster of 3. Chain 2. Cluster of 3. And then we're going to join it with our first chain that we did with a slip stitch at the top here. So that is our square so far. I'm going to close that hole in the middle by giving it a tug. Now we need to go around and do the next round. So we're going to be doing an extra cluster of 3 in between these now. So where we've just come from, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, whoops, come off my hook. 3. You're going to go straight back in that section and do your other 2 clusters. So that's 1 and another double crochet. That's your third one for that cluster. We're going to go over to this corner we're going to do the same as you've done on your previous round. You've done a cluster of 3, chain 2 and a cluster of 3. Chain 2, cluster of 3 back in that same space. And then we need to go to the middle section here, cluster of 3. And then into your next corner, repeat the process. And then into your middle section, which is here, cluster of 3. And onto your next corner. So I'm going to meet you here. Okay, so we've just come to the end of that round. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of this one. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do our cluster straight back in the one that we've just come from. This will be our last round. So we've got another one to do in this hole here. And then into your corner. Chain 2 and another cluster. So I'll let you carry on going around. I'm going to meet you back to join that row together. Okay, just got to the end of that one there. I'm just going to pull my yarn out. Now I'm going to pull enough yarn because I'm going to be using this tail end to sew it together. So I'm going to thread my needle, and then I'm going to do an invisible join together. So we're going to skip this one here. We're going to go in the next stitch. We're going to pull it through, and then we're going to put it back through the last stitch that we did in the back loop. There we have it. And then I'm going to feed my yarn up through the inside, because you know it's going to be the inside of your tree because you've got your tail end on it, and let it come out in a corner. So see, that's our nearest corner, like that. Now I always like to block mine, so this is one that I did earlier, and as you can see it looks a lot different. So you just literally wet these, make them moist, and then lay them flat and stretch them out. So I'm going to be showing you on this one how we sew it together. You're going to ignore that little bit in the middle, and we're going to fold those two ends down at the top there. Thread our needle, and then you are going to go through the back loop, which is here, of each of these stitches, and pull them as you go. Let's just see where my stitches are. That's one, and that's the other one there. Again. Then you go down to your next stitch, you find your back loop, and your back loop on this side, or sorry, it'll be the front loop on that side that meets you. So the inner loops you're working with. Going to do that all the way down And then we're going to fold it where it should be, like that. And then pull that through because I might need that yarn as well. We're going to tuck this bottom end in. So it's going to look like that. Then you're going to carry on with your back loops. But this time you're just going to pick up one of the stitches that you've got on that side. And you won't see it because you're using the same colour yarn. Just to hold it together. I'm going to just lose that tail end in there, bring it up wherever you like, and then this other end that we've still got, if your yarn isn't long enough, you can use your other tail end. We're going to do the same on here. We're going to come up through a back loop. We're just going to tack it in place. And again, when you get to the end, you're just going to hide your yarn back up and through. Put it through any way you like. And I'm just going to snip them off. Okay, so that's what we're left with. And I'm going to be showing you how to pop the bottom stump on. So you're going to turn it upside down. And you've got these two in the middle here. We're literally going to go through one of those, bring up your brown yarn or whatever colour yarn you would like to use. Just get it secure on there. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, yarn over. We're going to go back to where we've been. We're going to do a cluster of 3. So that's your second one. And your third one. We're going to yarn over and we're going to go in the other side here. Do exactly the same. Little cluster of 3. 1, 2, 3. Just do a single crochet to finish it off. Then I'm going to thread my needle and I'm going to secure this at the back. So if you turn your work over, I'm literally just going to feed it back through here, back down to the base, and try and get it to end up where the other one is. So I can tie a knot. And these two I'm just going to feed back down through the middle, so we come back up here and feed them in. That's one. Go over. That one doesn't want to help. Let's go again. There we go. And then the last thing we need to do is to do the little tie on the top. Just put that over there. So I go through the back, always through the back with the messy bits at the top. Pull my yarn through. I'll find my end. I'm going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to come back down and I'm going to put it through again just to bring up my yarn. We're doing a slip stitch on this one just to join it in. I'll give that a cut. And then I'm going to thread my needle because I want these to stay at the back, but I want them to be secure enough that you can put them on and off your tree. So this is our front. Bring it round. I'm going to go through what I've got and bring it out the other end. And again with this one. Give these a tie. And again, I'm just going to lose these up inside the tree. And cut the ends off. So there is my tree. Very quick and easy to make. I think you'll find. If you find that these bits dig in and just push them through, or you can give them another trim, get them out of the way. What I've done with this one is I've just added some beads, sewn it onto a needle and thread and just fed them through. So if you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll pop another one up.